day, everyone. We are now going to present to you our audiovisual center equipment management system. We are from the APRT, and I'm Eliza Rosario, one of the researchers of this team. And one of the members of the team,
and Rosella Amban, one of the researchers and member of the team. So first, we'll proceed in the company background. Our company is De La Salle College of St. Benil. It is a private Catholic school located in Cap Avenue, Manila, Philippines. The SYS-AD has three campuses, the TAP, SPA, and ACT campus. It is a member institution of De La Salle, Philippines, a network of 17 schools under the De La Salle Brothers Philippine District. The SYS-AD was established in 1980.
So we're now into the product and services. Audiovisual materials. The reservation, loan, and return of all AV materials and equipment should be done at the AV area at the LRC. All AV materials and equipment are primarily for the LSCSD campus. A validate LSCSD-ID has been presented to borrow AV materials and equipment from the LRC. The ID will be left to the AV services certification desk until the return of the materials and equipment. IDs will not be released until the borrowed item has been returned.
Borrowing and serving via email and or telephone call is acceptable, but should be confirmed by filling out the LRC reservation form. In case the borrower loses the key for the overhead projector and or television cases, they must be replaced.
All AV materials and equipment to be borrowed for off-campus purpose should be reserved a week in advance. A signed letter from the concerned office endorsing off-campus reservation of equipment should be followed to the LRC director. This allows the LRC to prepare the bid pass and seek approval for the security and technicians. The meals, transportations, and overtime pay shall be shouldered by the respective office unit school. Some AV materials are strictly for classrooms and capital systems. They should be returned immediately to the LRC after use in order to avoid inconvenience to the next user.
Some AV materials are strictly for classroom campus use only. They should be returned immediately to the LRC after use in order to avoid inconvenience to the next user. Maps and glows may be borrowed for classroom use. Requested for video, photo documentation should be filed at least a day before the scheduled activity. The LRC does not provide a guarantee for an automatic acceptance of the reservation. The granting of any request is subject to the availability of the equipment as well as the technician.
Any request over the LRC AV service area before or beyond its regular schedule for operation can be accomplished. This request must be accompanied by a written document and approved by the LRC director. Overdue fine is imposed for every hour that any of the AVC materials or equipment is returned to. Competitors. De La Salle College University. De La Salle College University has also held their AVC in their schools and also Ateneo de Manila University. Types and numbers of customers. All bona fide students of the LSCSD with valid ID. All current employed the LSCSD, faculty, administration, and personnel. Members of the De La Salle Brothers community, De La Salle CSD alumni, and non-Sallian users with its recommendation director. The average number of customers is from 13,000 to 15,000. Types and numbers of transactions. It's the borrowing, returning, and receiving. Number of transactions emitted is from 5,000 to 10,000 per day. Organizational chart. This chart is showing that the hierarchy or the ranking of every offices in this campus. So we will start from the president, of course, followed by the vice president, followed by the office of the vice chancellor, administration. There are 5 of them, and so on and so forth until you reach the AVC technicians. Statement of the problem or opportunity. We have analyzed the system of this campus and we found out the lack of competitive personnel to assist the clients and accommodate them. Recently, the ABC had many problems regarding the large number of clients and it is rapidly increasing every school year. Year by year, as their population increases, the more the ABC needs efficient personnel to tend to the client's needs. To solve this matter, our company suggests a system that will help them choose efficient personnel to handle matters how he would handle it. First, the system efficiency and maintenance. Scheduling of the checkup for every equipment that was damaged, returned, borrowed, and reserved for the month. Materials for the checking of the equipment. Reports every month about the current numbers and status equipment. This proposed system is to choose an efficient personnel and of course to avoid discrepancy in the services that will be provided to the clients. We have also objectives and limitations of the system. Conserve time and effort. Of course, all of us need to conserve time and effort so that we could be productive in a way. Continuation of the system functions. Efficient accommodation for the clients. More productive works to produce, just like what I said, and reduces errors. We will, as much as possible, reduce errors so that we could, of course, conserve time and effort. And, of course, this continuation of system functions will also help us to do so. We also have competence due to the standards of the world. We have many competitors and we will not be slacking off or be left behind. Standards of the world will vary on how efficient the personnel are, how the functions will go well, and how the system will work.
So the tangible benefit. For the cost reduction and avoidance, the system must contain warranty so that it will not cost too much for repair if the system detects problems. For error reduction, we can have the auto-correction of errors. For increased flexibility, the system may contain an application that covers information. Increased speed of activity, we can upgrade the system to increase flexibility. Increased speed of reports, add another system that automatically creates reports that we need. In improvement of management planning and control, we can create a system that will have the management planning and control. In opening new markets and increasing sales opportunities, we can create a website that will promote and endorse products. For the intangible benefits, first, competitive necessity. Create an advertisement that talks about the company's product. For the improved organizational planning, you can hire a professional planner that will help in the planning. For the increased organizational flexibility, good communication with the other organizations. For promotion and organizational learning and understanding, we can create a website that includes the company's features and products. For the availability of new, better, and more information, creativity on how you will make your flyers, brochures, and taglines for the company. For the ability to investigate more alternatives, we can perform an investigation for more alternatives. For faster decision making, we can create a report based on the ideas and opinions of each member of the organization. For information processing efficiency, we can create a guide that includes process information that is only relevant. For improved asset utilization, improve asset utilization by optimally allocating the available assets. For improved resource control, we can generate reports about the inventory in a timely manner to maximize usage of material needed and be able to acquire more needed items for the AVC system. For increased accuracy in clerical operations, automate the system to eliminate human error so that it will be much faster. For improved work process that can in turn improve employee morale. The work schedule should be fairly distributed and rotated activities should be done to avoid others abusing the position. For positive impact on society, you can create online forms for people to give their suggestions and add more features for the company.
Significance of the study. Studying the system is not enough to solve problems. If should be accompanied by a proper solution that will solve the problem properly and not temporarily. Solutions that will not only solve the problem but also will cause opportunities to evolve not just the company but also in the workers. That's why we propose to you the system, just like what we mentioned earlier, to have more efficient system. We found out something that causes some troubles in regard to the functions of the AVC system. It is quite true that the more the students DLFCs we have, the more the clients will appear. Also, having more students indicates more opportunities for hiring professors and other employees. It is all connected. You may find it hard to understand, but it is quite good for the company, but gaining more prospective students causes the trouble to the AVC system management and also to the other sub-offices. Scope and limitation. For the scope, data based on personnel experiences, online research, and personal sources. Limitation, we have interviewing personnel within the AVC premises and direct survey for the clients, just like what we did the last time we analyzed the system of the SYS. What we did is process walkthrough. This is for the borrowing system. These are the steps that we proposed. Go to the borrowing section. Just like what you saw in the picture, there's a window here in the LRC with for borrowing section. Total waiting time is 1 to 2 minutes. Actually, if aren't any clients, you can have faster time, and the actual processing time is 4 to 5 minutes. Fill up the form. As you can see in the picture, we have the pink form provided by the AVC personnel. You will have to fill up the information needed and give it to the AVC. Total waiting time is only 1 minute. Actually, it could be lesser than that. Actual processing time is 2 minutes or lesser than that. Give the AVC personnel with your ID. Just like what our members said, in doing transactions, you need the valid ID to proceed with other processes. We have AVC personnel will check the equipment before giving it to you. Total waiting time will take 2 minutes and actual processing time will take only 3 minutes. For the returning, we have go to the section of returning section. If there is a borrowing section, there is also returning. Total waiting time would be 1 to 2 minutes and actual processing time would be 3 minutes. Present the equipment. Total waiting time would be 1 minute and actual processing time would be 3 minutes. The personnel will check the equipment return to avoid errors and of course if the equipment borrowed or equipment returned is damaged. If the equipment is damaged, go to the accounting office. Line up and wait for your name to be called. This will take quite a lot of time than expected. Total waiting time would be 4 minutes or higher than that. It depends upon the situation. If it's rush hour or there are no clients. Pay the damage fee. Total waiting time would be 4 minutes. Of course, the accounting personnel will check all the slips or the damage fees that needed to be paid. Go back to AVC, present the receipt and get your ID. After presenting the receipt to the AVC personnel, you will check the equipment once if it is there are no errors at all, and then he will release your ID.
Process time and cycle versus cycle time. Filling up the form, processing time is 5 minutes, the cycle time is 15 minutes. AVC personnel will check the equipment, processing time 10 minutes, cycle time 25 minutes. Wait for the equipment to be released, processing time is 10 minutes, cycle time is 25 minutes. Pay penalties, processing time 10 minutes, and the cycle time would be 35 minutes. Waiting for the receipt, processing time 30 minutes, and cycle time is 75 minutes. Go up to the LRC, processing time is 5 minutes, the cycle time will be 15 minutes. Get your ID, processing time should be 5 minutes, and
cycle time would be 10 minutes. Total time for processing time is 1 hour and 50 minutes, and for the cycle time would be 3 hours and 24 minutes.
For the UML diagrams of the existing system, we have first is the borrowing. For the borrowing, first is you will borrow your equipment, you need, and next is to fill up the form. When you fill up the form, you should present your ID and give it to the AVC personnel. The AVC personnel will test or check the equipment, and after checking, the AVC personnel will release the equipment.
For returning, the borrower will return the equipment to the ABC personnel. The ABC personnel will test and or check the equipment that is borrowed. If there is some damage, the borrower should settle penalties to the accounting office. After he or she settled the penalties, the borrower can get his or her ID afterwards.
For the reserving, we have fill-up form, just like the borrowing. The fill-up form will provide the information needed so that after filling it up, you can give it to the ABC personnel and have it checked to reserve the equipment, and we will check the records if the equipment will be available in that time. Of course, you will present your ID for the validation and confirm reservation. Recommendations. Number one problem, the problem of the accommodation of the clients in the AVC-EMS. Recently, the AVC had many problems regarding the large number of clients, and it is rapidly increasing every school year, just like what I said earlier. In the last school years, they had no problems because the population is only enough for the personnel to accommodate. Year by year, as the population increases, the more the AVC needs efficient personnel to lend to the clients' needs. Hour by hour, many clients go to their office, do transactions. If the personnel are not enough to accommodate all those, it would be a problem. I mean, huge problem for that. To solve this matter, our company suggests a system that will help those choose efficient personnel to handle matters, and how would we handle it. For example, the experience for the job and the personality, of course, it is also needed. Number two is the efficiency of the equipment to be used by the clients. Of course, clients need more efficient equipment to be used. Every day, many clients will go to AVC to borrow some equipment, reserve, or return. Of course, to avoid miscalculations, errors for the client's side, and to conserve time and effort, the AVC should have efficient equipment. Having good personnel is not only the main problem in the AVC system. It is only one point of their problem. If the problem is solved, then we can move to the other problem. This is also related to the number one problem. The efficiency of service given by the personnel to the clients. Of course, number one and two problem are connected to number three problem. If the personnel who is handling the equipment are good, of course the equipment that is handled is very good, and the clients would have a good service in return. To make efficiency of the system and its maintenance, a good technician is needed too. The technicians can be pulled out from the good personnel that were selected. System and AVC must be at least revised. Scheduling of the check-up for every equipment that was damaged, returned, borrowed, and reserved for the month. Materials for the checking of the equipment. Reports every month about the current numbers and status of the equipment. These two problems were chosen to polish the system of the AVC. Every report must be accurate so that the security purposes for the management will be well.
For the AVC-EMS use case diagram, for the borrower, the use case one will be the filling up the borrowing form. The borrower will leave the borrowing form and ID. The personnel will check the ID and borrowing form, check the equipment, test the equipment that will be borrowed and logs the transaction. For returning, the returner returns the borrowed equipment. The personnel will check or test the equipment, and the returner can get his or her ID back. For the reserver should fill up the reservation form, and the personnel will check if the equipment is available that time and will confirm the reservation.
For the borrowing, step 1, the borrower should fill up the borrowing form. Step 2, the borrower leaves the borrowing form and ID to the ABC personnel. Step 3, the ABC personnel will check the ID if it is valid and the borrowing form filled up. Step 4, the ABC personnel checks if the equipment is available. Step 5, the ABC personnel sends the equipment borrowed to the borrower. Step 6, the ABC personnel logs the transaction. The alternative step for step 4 is if the equipment is not available or damaged, the ABC personnel should inform the borrower that the equipment that he or she may borrow is damaged or not available the time he needs it. And the borrower will ask to borrow another equipment. Then go back to step 4 again.
For returning, step 1, the borrower will return the borrowed equipment to the other usual center. Step 2, the ABC personnel will test or check the equipment. Step 3, the borrower gets his or her ID back. Alternative step for number 3 is if the equipment is damaged, the borrower will pay or settle his penalties at the accounting office. The accounting will receive the payment and issue a receipt. The borrower will show the receipt to the ABC personnel. The ABC personnel will check the receipt and the borrower gets his or her ID back.
For the reserving, we have step 1, the borrower will fill up the reservation form. Step 2, the ABC personnel will check the equipment if it is available on the set date and time of the reservation. Number 3, the ABC personnel will confirm the reservation of the reserver. We have alternate step 3. If the equipment is not available, the ABC personnel will inform the reserver, and the reserver will reserve or borrow other equipment. Then go back to step 3.
For the borrowing, here is the activity diagram. So the borrower will usually fill up the form and give it to the ABC personnel. The ABC personnel will check it, and the ABC personnel will ask for the ID of the borrower. Then the borrower gives his and her ID to the ABC personnel. Then the borrower, or rather the ABC personnel will check the equipment given to the borrower. Then the ABC personnel will give the equipment to the borrower, and the borrower will take the equipment and use it.
For return equipment, the borrower will present the borrowed equipment to the ABC. The ABC of personnel will check the equipment they borrowed. ABC personnel will test the equipment return if working or not. If undamaged, the ABC will confirm the ID of the borrower, and the borrower can get ID back. The ABC, if the borrowed equipment is damaged, the ABC will use a form for change the borrower to indicate the changes. The borrower will go to the proceed accounting office for payment. The borrower will present form for the payment of charges. Then the accounting office will check the changes in the form presented. The accounting will ask the borrower for payment. The borrower will present the money. Then the accounting office will issue the receipt of proof of payment. The borrower will receive the receipt and present to the ABC. The ABC personnel will verify it and keep the copy of the receipt of records. ABC personnel will give back the ID of the borrower and the borrower receives his or her ID back.
For the reserving, we have the reserver will fill up the necessary reserve fill-up form. Next is the reserver will present the filled-up form to the AVC. Then as for the AVC personnel, he or she will check the equipment the borrower will reserve. The personnel will ask the borrower for his or her ID for verification. Then the reserver will present his ID for the personnel. The personnel will check and confirm the reservation of equipment. Benchmarking. We have the two competitors said earlier, the De La Salle University, Manila, and of course the Ateneo de Manila University. But we will focus on De La Salle University. System use. They use the Instructional Media Services or IMS unit. The IMS houses and circulates more than 2,000 digitates and assorted sources such as audio tapes, slides, and multimedia resources in CD rooms and a wide array of audiovisual and projection equipment and devices. IMS takes charge of the scheduling of the use of multimedia rooms located at Velasco Building B210, Miguel Hall, M406, and IMS office. It has a multimedia area equipped with 10 high-end network computer facilities to accommodate primarily faculty members in their multimedia materials development and production.
So this is the geographic flow chart of the existing AVC. The chart above, we organize the proposed system for the AVC-EMS. The process are actually simplified but modified in a way that the people involved in the system will be easy to use. Station by station, the client will be involved in signing up or filling out the form to provide information for the use of the system. For the previous system of the LSCSP, the flow of the system is correct. We propose to the management additional personnel to accommodate the number of clients every day. As for the maintenance, await report in the report. So this is my resume. That was resume. Rachela's Jim Valda Ambat resume. And Faye Eliza T. Roselia's resume. We thank our beloved professor for Mr. J.J. Salem for giving us further instruction in doing these activities. Under your care, we learned a lot about this matter. Even though we can't understand anything in the script, we still have patience in teaching us. We also thank our friends who helped us be courageous in finishing the difficult activities that are assigned to us. Without all of them, we could make it this far. We also thank our families who support us during the difficult times. They continue being there for us even though we have to skip the chores just to make the activity. And as for the members of the APR team, guys, we made it this far. We shared all difficulties together. Despite the hardship, we made it at the end. God bless us all.
So that is for our presentation today, and I hope you will like it. So
Have a good day.